Hello and welcome to Nicole Reacts Up. Today we're going to be reacting to the L Word Gen Q Season 3 trailer that's just been released. There's a lot to go over, so let's go frame by frame right now. First here we have Bet running. We don't know who she's running to or running from, however we will find that out later on in the video. Next frame we have Danny with her palm in her face because you know why? She's had a difficult life up until this point. She lost her fiance, she was embarrassed in front of her whole family on her wedding day, she punched somebody in front of everybody on her wedding day. Her dad is probably going to prison for a while and he's trying to have her lie on the stand for her, thus dragging her, possibly, to prison. So she has every right to have this face. I would be off the deep end if I was her. And she is still rocking it out, looking beautiful, putting her makeup on every day and wearing some cute rings. So props to her. Hopefully things start to turn up for her this season. And in this next frame, we have Sophie looking mopey and miserable. And you know what? As she should. Sophie had the fiance of anyone's dreams. A great job, actually, great career, family owned. So stable, secure future. Yes, she was wrapped up in her work, but she was true to Sophie. Sophie had it all in the palm of her hand. And she went, achoo! And blew it all away. Blew it all away. For what? For Finley? All right, Finley ain't got no job, no prospects, no motor vehicle. She rides a scooter around and she can't even cook. So make it make sense. I don't know. But you deserve to look like this, Sophie. You really do. And in this next frame, we have Shane and Tess, also known as Shess. Now, a lot of people ship these two. I do not. I don't think that there's a lot of chemistry between them, and I also think that Tess is hiding a dirty little secret. I am not so sure that she has a mother in Vegas. I'm not so sure she has a mother at all. I think she has a gambling problem, but that's just my guess. It's probably wrong, but either way, I don't ship these two. Next frame, Danny and who the hell is this? I don't know who this mystery person is. However, I know one thing, it's not Gigi, and that's very disappointing to me. I don't know why they did this, but this cardigan makes Danny look pregnant, and the way that this mystery girl is holding her belly also makes her look pregnant. However, I think it's just a weird angle, and hopefully Danny is not with child because we don't have time for that storyline. Moving on. In this next frame, which makes it all more confusing, Danny is kissing Gigi, okay? We don't know what the timeline is of these random hookups, but my guess is this is probably like the first episode and we're not going to see much of Gigi ever again, unfortunately. Next frame, we have Micah and Maribel kissing. Do with that what you may. In the next frame, we have Bet with her confusing face that she always puts. Are we twins? She asks, are you in love with me? And Bet puts this face, which is not particularly flattering, but nonetheless, she does not know how to answer this question, although we all know the answer is yes. Just say it. Like, who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to play? We all know. Just get together and kiss. And in this next frame, we have another picture of Tess and Shane kissing, which I didn't think we needed, but okay. And in this next frame, we have Finley and Sophie, both with different hairs. We have Finley with the black hair, which I'm not crazy about. But we do have Sophie with the ramen noodle hair, which I am feeling. So I do like this look, but either way, this hair makes Finley look like an Italian man. Let's continue. The next picture here, we have Danny with who I assume is Mystery Girl with the short hair. But in this picture, she's wearing white face. And Danny has some cute cat ears on. So I'm assuming this is a Halloween episode, which is great because the L Word has never given us a holiday episode. Halloween is great. I would love a Christmas episode. I think that would be amazing. Like they all go somewhere where there's snow and they're all wearing like coats and mittens and hats and somebody sits on Santa's lap. It will probably be Alice and should probably hook up with Santa. But anyway, I don't know who this mystery girl is, but right here, she kind of looks like Angel from Rent, if you know what I'm saying. Let's move on. So here we are shown a confusing sequence of photos. We have this mystery tall gentleman, and then a picture of Angie, and then a picture of Jordy, and then a picture of Angie. And the voiceover is what sounds like Angie is saying, maybe this will be my hoe phase. Little girl, sit down. You are a child. To me, you are still a little fetus inside Tina's racist body. You will never be a hoe. No hoe phase for you. Sit down. Go do your homework. Here we have another photo of Sophie. However, her hair looks a little bit different. I really like the straight look, the blown out look. It looks great, but she looks confused or upset. So Finley must have done something. And here they are kissing again. Like, we really don't need more of this, guys. You knew what we wanted and you're not giving it to us. Hashtag Genie forever. Now here we have another mystery person. Alice is kissing this blonde lady, but who is it? I recognize the voice from the voiceover and it is our dear Joey Lauren Adams. Whatever happened to Alice and Tom? It's just like the L word to gloss over some facts and lazily say, oh, a year later. A year has passed. Tom went to go to sea to find those lobster he released and he was never heard from again. In this next frame, we have Danny asking Gigi to move in together. And what's Gigi's response? She says, I have to speak to Nat. Now, at first I was like, what the hell you need to speak to your ex-wife about? But I forgot they have 2 children whom they do not care for. They do not take care of them. I don't see them. It's just like Helena's parenting style. I don't know how to feel about this, but it looks like, and I don't know if it's just the editing, but it looks like Nat and Gigi are giving each other the googly eyes, so I'm not a fan. And Danny is taking a page out of Gigi's playbook of being a player and getting around town real fast. Here's Danny with yet another mystery person. Who is this girl? Who is this person? We did not see her before in this trailer, and I do not know who she is. So good for you, Danny. Good for you. You deserve that. As we move on to the next clip, we have Carrie wearing the same shirt as that guy from 2.5 Men. Right? Okay. Then, in a weird turn of events, we have what looks to be Finley and Tess looking at each other longingly with maybe sexual tension or emotional tension. Something's there. I feel like they hooked up and they're both ashamed about it. And in this next clip, we cut back to Tina and Bet. Tina had asked Bet, are you still in love with me? And Bet refused to answer that question. So you know what? Tina decides to leave. And Bet does what Bet does. Scream. It's music to my ears. If we skip a few very quick clips, we get to Shane demolishing something somewhere with goggles on. Here we are back to Micah and Maribel, and we hear somebody on the voiceover say, I want a baby, but I don't want to push you into something you're not ready for. Is Maribel trying to have a baby? Because the last time I checked, she was too busy to answer his phone calls because she was dealing with the crisis at the border. So now all of a sudden she has time for a child? Do you know how much responsibility and time that is going to suck out of your life? Well, you can blame the crisis border on Maribel then. Now in this next clip, we have Danny throwing something golden. First of all, where does she get a gold ball from? It looks like a golden snitch. Second of all, who is she throwing this at? If I had to guess, if I use my Harriet the Spy skills, I can kind of see that whoever's in the car, the driver is blonde and the passenger is brunette. And so it seems that she probably caught Nat and Gigi kissing in the car, if I had to guess. In these next 2 frames, we have Shane and Finley fooling around in the construction zone, doing sumo wrestling poses and vag bumping? I don't know what that is. Either way, they look like they're bonding and having a good time, which would make it all the more effed up if Finley hooked up with Tess. Here, I'm very disappointed to say that my niece Angelica Dana Portard has thrown a rock into somebody's window, and whose window is that? We will find out in a minute. But first, we gotta talk about Finley and Carrie bonding. Never saw that one coming, but I guess they have similarities. They both had a drinking problem, or it seems that Carrie had a drinking problem at one point. Either way, she's kind of being a mentor to Finley for saying, hey, my life is depressing. And yours is too, so I understand. Here's Danny again at the Halloween party with a mystery woman. She's looking a little bit less like Angel from Morant at this point. And Danny looks very amused. And they're also hanging out with Sophie. Lesbians are always hanging out with their exes. Now this is the picture that gagged me the most. Here we have Shane hunched over walking. She looks either very defeated or drunk. And then we have what looks to be Tess all cuddled up on Finley. So that is further reassurance to me that they hooked up and Shane is very upset about it. Here we have Alice and Shane in the bed, but I don't think it's anything. I think it's just 2 friends hanging out, probably drunk or sad. Here's confirmation that Danny and Mystery Girl with the short hair do hook up because here is a white t-shirt and here are black nails. Who was wearing a white t-shirt? Mystery Girl. Who had black nails and that ring on? You guessed it, Dana. Not Dana, Danny. So she's hooking up with Mystery Girl, or at least touching her chest very sexually. Now, we go back to that scene where Angie was throwing the rock at a car. It was a very square car, and it seemed to be red from the little still picture that I could get. Here is that same red car with 2 people making out or hooking up, doing something a little more in there, and it's probably Jordy and that boy. And that's probably why Angie threw the rock at that car. Now, here's a depiction of what happened to me when I saw Gigi and Danny's first kiss. Just kidding. I don't know why Shane has been doused with water, but someone threw water in her face. And it seems to me that she probably just did what Shane does. Cheat, right? But with who? Here we have cameo of Fletcher. Do with that what you will. It seems like she'll probably be in only this Halloween episode, if I had to guess. Now here we see Bet getting out of the passenger side of her best friend's ride. Oh, that's Angie's car that she's getting out of. How do I know? You'll see why in a minute. More of Finley and Sophie kissing. My God, please stop. Here we have Bet in that same dress that she was wearing when she was running out of the car. And guess who she's looking at? She's looking at somebody who's looking back as longingly as she was. Of course, the love of her life, Tina. So I did actually skip a few scenes because it's a lot of repeating. But here we have, again, Carrie and Finley bonding and hugging. My guess is that she is cheating on Sophie with Tess and feels bad about it. Now here is a very random thing that I figured out. It took me a few watches to figure this out because here we have Margaret's show on Alice's show, but she's separated by a wall and 3 other people on the other side. And it seems like they're playing Match Game, which is like a dating show from the 70s, I believe. They can't see each other, but they have to answer questions. And whoever matches the most, those two go on a date. And it seems that she matched with Joey Lauren Adams, which is a very interesting way to meet your significant other, I would say. Here we have more shots of Bet running, even more shots of her running. Here we have a very sexy head turn from Kaylani. I have a feeling she'll be in one episode as well. And here's the shot that makes me believe that Bet and Tina do end up together because Bet ran out of the car that she was in with all of them, and now they are cheering, looking at something, and clapping their hands and smiling. So I'm guessing that Bet caught Tina in the middle of the intersection, and they are kissing, and hopefully they do not get hit by a truck. Once again, lesbians hanging out with their exes. We have Danny here with Mystery Girl and Sophie and Finley. What are they cheersing? But I guess she isn't pregnant because she has alcohol in her glass. Here's Finley again, looking like a little Italian boy from an 80s mob movie. Here's Tina looking probably at Bet. And of course, the iconic clip of these two almost kissing and then bugging the F out about it. This was hilarious. I didn't notice, but one of my followers pointed out that they were at an ayahuasca retreat. It's one of those things where you have to go like somewhere in Central America, South America. You sit there with shamans in a big room full of mattresses on the floor and buckets. And what happens is they mix you a little tea, you drink it, and you get very sick. Hence the buckets. Then you have a life-changing ethereal experience. So they both pretty much were high and almost kissed, but not that high. And the last thing that we have here on the banner of the L Word is this picture of Danny and Finley almost kissing or kissing. That threw everybody for a loop, but I think that's just baiting us to speculate wildly and think too much into it, but I don't think there's anything to it. It's just for the promotion of the show. Let me know what you thought about it. These are all my thoughts. I would love to hear your comments, questions, concerns, and rants. I would love to know what you think about all these things, and if you have any predictions, let me know in the comments. I post every day about the L Word and LGBT things, so please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you don't already, please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on Nicole Reacts Up. Bye!